Hey guys, Chris at the Ultimate Recycler. Here's my ute and trailer parked outside a little cottage. I've been dealing with the owner of this cottage, and a while ago we actually got some furniture out of here. I'll link the video above. He basically said salvage what you can, the place is going to be demolished and developed. It's a really nice block here. It's in a prime position in this town, and if you look down there, there's the lake. And a bit of a creek out this side, or part of the lake. So prime position. This property will be very expensive, and I think he's divided the block, subdivided the block, and I think there's going to be 2 or 3 units or small houses here. Now this is a very old cottage, and he's basically told me, go around and grab what you can. It's going to be knocked down by an excavator, and this week is the week it's going to happen. Now I've been trying to get around here all day, but I've had a few pressing things to deal with. But I've got here now, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to start just having a look what I want to get. But basically he said, look, I don't want anything for what you can grab. Pretty well whatever you can salvage will be stuff that doesn't go to landfill, because it's just all going to be basically knocked down, carted away in big dump trucks, and I assume they just bury it somewhere. So there's nothing really much in here as far as furniture goes, but there is a nice etched door there. One side had been broken a long time ago, but I think I'll grab that one that's on the left with a butterfly on it. Nice etching. The lining boards inside. Look, I don't know, I've brought my hammer and my crowbar, and we might rip up some floorboards, maybe some lining boards from the walls inside. I don't really want weatherboards. There's going to be a bit of copper pipe, but I don't know if the plumbing's been disconnected as yet. I think the power has. And there's some light fittings I was interested in when I was in here last time. So look, I'll see if I can get in. Oh, the door's open, good. I'll take this flywire door. Basically I'm just here to salvage what I can, grab things of a few dollars, and you know, it's going to be worth my time. Some nice pine lining boards here, but I'm not going to take the time to rip those up. I'm a bit time poor at the moment, so unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of good stuff that does go, but I can't save everything. So I'm really just going to grab the best value. Let's go through here and have a look if that light fitting's still there. Oh yeah, nice retro sort of space age 1960s light fitting. So I'll just double check that the power's been disconnected, and I'll take that down for sure. I didn't want this furniture last time I was here. It's really low value. It's a shame that it's going to get trashed, but you know, I just don't have time to save low value stuff. But that door is a ripper. It's a shame the other one isn't there. Very nice door. So, all right, I better get to it. I don't have a lot of time, and I will be trying to lift the floorboards somewhere because I'm really interested to see if there's any old bottles underneath. Now, the place dates to around about 1900 or possibly even 1890s. This room gives a bit of a hint to its age. That's a very old style window. There's the early lining boards here, which I was going to try and salvage some of those. They'll be like a pine of some sort. The floorboards in this front section should be like a Baltic pine. So I'll roll back the carpet, see if I can get underneath. I want to really have a look to see if there's any old bottles, because that's one of my hobbies, is collecting bottles, as many of you know. And oh, there's not a bad light fitting in this one either. It must have been rewired or had new fittings in the 60s. Anyway, I don't have a lot of time. I better hop to it. Well, 5 minutes each to get the light fittings down. That's what 60 years of dust looks like. That's amazing. So that's been hanging there probably since it was new. But I think that will clean up quite well. Very happy with those 2 lights. All right, we'll put them in the ute and we'll start taking some doors off. I've finished rounding up the doors. There's some nice flywire doors. That's the front one. That was on the back of the house. And this other one was actually on a little sleep out. It doesn't have the wrought iron work, but it's a nice timber vintage door. This one has the original spring hinges. So pretty happy with those. I reckon they're $50 each at least. I was considering these windows, but there's quite a lot of cracked panes. And this one here actually has a piece replaced. They are great old windows, and they kind of, I don't know, I'm still tempted. But then again, I tried this one, and the bottom here is I haven't put my finger through it, so I think it's either had white ants or no, it looks like white ants. So that's stuffed. The top one may be okay. I'm not going to worry too much at this stage, but they are nice old windows. I considered the louvers. They're fixed to the wall. Just not sure. They're not worth a great deal. Let's have another walk through the house. The main front door is quite nice, but it has some structural issues. I may take the nice Art Deco handle off it though. That's a beauty. But the frame of it's quite wonky, and in fact if I lift one end, it flexes all the joints. So I think the glass is due to fall out of it, so we might leave that one there. So let's do another quick walkthrough before I start looking at lining boards and floorboards. I don't want the sliding door. There's nothing else in this room. The kitchen has a modern light fitting. I've got to remember to keep looking up. If you see something I should grab, yell out. You'll have to yell really loudly because I'm probably the other side of the world, and you're going to have to yell loud enough to go through some sort of time eddy, and I'll hear a voice from the future, so I think that's really unlikely. Okay, nothing much in here. There's just some 3-ply panelling that's sort of 70s. I had been through the crockery last time, and the cupboard's just a chipboard one. The kitchen cupboards are no good. I don't want any of that. I'm tempted to undo taps and plumbing fittings and maybe the sink. Although I did just try an outdoor tap. I don't want the electric stove. They're damn near impossible to sell. I checked a tap outside and the water's still turned on, so I can't start taking off plumbing fittings. I don't want the strip heater. This light here is a modern fluoro. Now someone is already coming to get the heater. I can't take that. That's a 80s era chipboard thing. Impossible to sell, almost impossible to give away. What's in the bathroom? There's a pretty average looking light there. I don't want that one. Looks like someone's taken the exhaust fan. The vanity is very dated, no good there. I checked these plumbing fittings. That's where the washing machine was, which I got in the previous deal. They're just plastic, they're not copper, otherwise I would have taken them off. There's a hot water service behind this screen here. I might take that old coat hook. It's a nice old cast iron one. But it's a modern hot water service, and again I can't touch the plumbing yet anyway. Oh, that's a cool old strip heater. That's quite a vintage one. I normally wouldn't worry with strip heaters, but I think that one will come off easily, so I might get that one. What have we got here? This door is just a slider. No issues, no problems with that one. I don't want it, I mean. There's a nice mantelpiece here. Good chunk of timber. 8 feet, nearly 10 feet long. So I'll grab that just purely for being a nice piece of timber. This lounge has more of a 70s light, maybe 80s. I don't want that one, it's not interesting enough. The air conditioner is too heavy for me to get down. I don't want that at all. There's a little bit of furniture here that I'm going to leave here. It's a shame, and look, if I had a couple of weeks spare, I would be tempted to demolish this house on my own. I'm just looking at the rippling. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's rippling to the paint up there. And I think you'll find that those boards have been eaten out at the back by white ants, and there's only the paint left in spots. So we might not get many lining boards out of this place, but we'll have a look. I mentioned about this furniture. Look, it's a shame it's going to be trashed. The guy probably could have made a bit of an effort to give it away on Facebook or something, but look, I don't have the time and I need to make my time pay. So I'm not going to load up and take a whole heap of stuff back and then give it away just, to save it, because I can't make a living doing that. Little door snake, we might take that. So, okay, we might roll back the carpet and see if we can lift some floorboards next. What did I say I was going to get? That strip heater out in the other room, the bathroom. I might go and get that first, and then we'll see if we can have a look at some floorboards. And I wonder what's underneath this house. I've got that big shelf off there. That was a great piece of timber. I've got all the other little bits and pieces that I showed you. I thought I might just climb up the ladder and have a look at these boards up the top, because I don't know that any of these lining boards are going to be any good. Hear that? Look at that. everywhere. White ants have got into it. That's amazing. So I think all these boards, that one looks very ripply further down. I'm not going to get any value out of these. The ceiling ones might be okay, but I don't really feel like pulling ceiling boards down in that you get showered in 100 years of dust, probably more than 100 years here. And who knows what's up there. Oh, it actually looks like it's damaged over there anyway. Oh yeah, look, hang on. I'll get up another step. Look at this bit. Yep, so there's been white ants right through this place. So you can see there's ripply bits everywhere, and it's really just the paint. And as you saw, they're into the window frame over there. And around here, I noticed on this door frame, they've got through there as well. So any one of the buildings been demolished. Oh, that looks like pressed tin. I hadn't noticed that. Each little section's been riveted. Yeah, I wonder if I can get that down. I might have to do that tomorrow. I'll be back here first thing in the morning, and I'll be going to try and have a crawl underneath the house. And it's getting a little bit dark now, but we'll try and lift some carpet and just see if we can get a few floorboards up before I go. Probably in this front room, because I reckon they're not original boards. That's been refloored. So it's really only probably the front two rooms. And there's a fair chance that it might have been reblocked over the years and there won't be anything much under there, but I need to have a look. I won't sleep until I have a look. So this carpet wasn't even tacked down, it was just loose laid. And there's a large sheet, or a couple of large sheets of plywood here, which I'm going to take because I'm lining my shed at home, and that will be beautiful. Now, there's also some really old vinyl here, or lino. It's strange that this was probably a bedroom and it's had lino in it. It's not as old as the house. It looks maybe 1930s or 40s. We'll try and lift a corner. There might even be some old newspapers under that. But I'll grab these 2 sheets of ply and put them in the trailer first. How's this? Underneath those plywood sheets, they've actually packed the floor up with pegboard, old masonite pegboard, and then floorboards, and they're on top of the vinyl. So it indicates that that corner of this room has sunk. It's certainly got some structural problems, this cottage, and it was probably a bit beyond fixing up, so demolishing it's probably the way to go. But that's interesting. A bit of a bush carpentry job there, not very professional at all. Any wonder it was rough to walk over the carpet. So I need to try and get some of this vinyl up before I go home tonight. It's starting to run out of light here, and I'm running out of battery. It's looking more and more like I'll have to come back here with either when the excavator's here or come back with an axe. I can't get under here. These are actually vinyl tiles, I think, and they're glued to something. So I'll have to dig my way through there. Have a look at this wall plate. It's the hardwood rail for the wall, and it's totally gone. The white ants have certainly done damage here. So, alright, I might be able to get some of these lining boards off. I might take a few off and see what they look like. They seem fairly solid here. Maybe not. I might prise a few off, and I'll just make a bit of an effort and see if I can find the floorboards underneath this. There might be a sheet of something that these tiles have been glued onto. So I'm having some success. The vinyl's been glued onto a fairly sort of thick type, it's a fairly light fibrous board. It's not masonite, but it's some sort of cushioning board. And then that was glued onto the actual floorboards. So that's really a shame, because to sand them back would be a major effort. So I don't think I'll be worrying about the floorboards, but I do want to get under and see what's under there. So I'll keep going in this corner and make a bit of room, and I might try and break up a few boards, but I don't think the flooring boards are going to be any good, unfortunately. So I got one board out. I had to break it out. They're quite thick, and they don't appear to be damaged by white ants, but they're going to be not too much effort to save, unfortunately, especially with the glue on one side. Now, I'm running on only a few percent. My phone's about to die. The torch actually stopped because the power's so low. I did have a quick scan, and under here, if we can see it, and if my phone hangs in, I found just within reach an old bottle. So that gives me hope. I'm going to have to come back first thing in the morning with a good torch Now that bottle is around about early 1900s. It's an olive oil bottle. Nothing fantastic, not worth a great deal, that one, but it's nice to see. So I'll wash that up, and I'm keen to have a bit of a look. I stuck my head down there as far as I could, and I couldn't see much else except some broken bricks, but there might be some more bottles somewhere. So I'll pull a few more boards up in the morning, I'll have a better torch, and hopefully my phone will be fully charged. We'll see you then. Okay guys, I'm back at the house today. I've lifted a few more boards. I brought a handsaw so I could cut them off where they travel through into the other room. I moved a bit more of that stuff. They're actually nice boards. Now, you may have noticed they're not tongue and groove. They're actually just basically slabs of hardwood. There's no evidence of any white ant damage in them. They're very heavy. I wonder if they're even ironbark. They certainly would be original to this house, and that certainly dates back to the 1800s, and they did have, there's ironbark forests near here, and there was some sawmills around in the early days, so probably almost indestructible timber. I'm sort of thinking I should try and salvage what I can. Anyway, I've had a look under. I did clean up that other bottle and I forgot to bring it with me, so I'll show you a little bit later. It turned out not quite as old as I thought it was. Probably around 1930s, but I've stuck my head under here and way back over to this side, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see, or you guys are going to be able to see, but over there you see there's hardly any room underneath here, and I've got a rake here that I can maybe try and drag some bottles back. I can see an older one back under there, so I'll drag that out now and see what date it is, and hopefully it's a good one. Okay, let's cue the noise for disappointment. This bottle is complete, but it's nothing special. It's probably 1930s, maybe even 40s. It's a sauce bottle, but yeah, no real value there, unfortunately. And the bottle gods are teasing me because we've found part of a top of a cod bottle, a marble bottle, and they're the ones that I'm really looking for. That one's actually still got the rubber seal ring around the groove. No other evidence of those bottles here. This bit's an older one, but that's just a eucalyptus oil, and because it ends in O, it would have been Basisto, which are very common. Early, yeah, probably 1900. But disappointing. I expect that people have been under here. In fact, glancing back towards the other room, it's only the front two rooms that seem to have the old boards. The other room with the more modern pine boards, I can see under there, and there's actually some square stumps, so I know it's been reblocked, and there's a fair chance that the reblockers have a nice bottle collection. This earlier part is certainly old. The stumps here are just basically tree stumps from out of the bush. And, you know, there would have been some old bottles under here, some nice ones, but I'm sure someone's scrounged around, and all they've left me is the more modern ones that are worth nothing and a few broken pieces. So anyway, that's how Murphy's Law works, but we needed to have a look because every now and again we do get lucky. So I did glance right under that other room as far as I could. I can see to the outside of the house, and it's basically just rubble, just some bits of brick, and there could be a few broken bits of bottle, but it's not worth my while trying to lift boards over there and scrounging, you know, crawling. I can't quite crawl under. Here's the most access. It just gets narrower the further you go. So I'll give up on the bottle dream, at least for today. Now, I might try and lift a few more boards. I'm still undecided on whether I want to keep these boards or not. We might just see how they come out. It would be a shame for them all to be burnt or buried, but it's a matter of time, and I don't have an immediate use for these boards. Look, they'd be handy if they are ironbark. They'd be great garden hedging. They'd last for decades. You're not going to use them as floorboards. As I said, there's no tongue and groove, and they're too heavy to use on furniture. But look, I don't know. It's a matter of time, and I'm pressed for time. I've got too many projects on the go, so I may have to leave it. But I might pop back next Monday, I believe. The excavator's coming to knock things down. See, even if I had this house, I'd be reckoning it myself. Look at the old floor bearers or joists there. That's going to be so hard, that timber. It'd be fantastic to use for certain uses. and it's just a shame that that old timber is going to be basically destroyed. But anyway, we can't get too hung up on emotions. I've come in here and I've got some good value before it got trashed. I have taken some photos of all this furniture, and I just threw it on our local Facebook groups for free. I just took pictures of everything and said, come and get it for free. It's not my stuff, but I hate to see it go to landfill, and someone must have a use for some of this. So hopefully I'll start getting a few messages, and I'll come around and meet people and help them load up. As I said, it's not my stuff. I could easily just walk away, but I wouldn't be the ultimate recycler if I didn't try to stop stuff going to landfill. So here's a couple of boards I did lift. I might just take a few more. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But I'll finish this video up here. Well, not quite. I will show you the lights washed up, and I'll give you a quick total of what value I saved. I've only really spent a couple of hours in total. This sort of fossicking under the floorboards doesn't really count as business. That's my hobby, looking for bottles. And if I do lift some more timber, that'll probably be going home for projects. So I'll just show you the lights, and you've seen the doors. I'll just show you the retro lights cleaned up. I'll give you a bit of an idea of what I'm going to retail the stuff I salvaged at, and then we'll wind up the video. Okay guys, a change of plans. I've got Kristen here working away. We're ripping up more floorboards. Say good morning.
Hello.
We may be finding some treasures. What I'm going to do is finish up this video now, and this will be part 1, and we'll do part 2 because we're going to devote a bit more time to this place. So thanks for watching. I'll link the next one here once we get it done. We'll see you then. Bye.